Welcome to another video, and today I wanted to take a look at a popular subreddit on Reddit known as Am I the Asshole, which is abbreviated as AITA. For those of you who don't know, Am I the Asshole is basically a forum in which people share something they've done and they ask if they're the asshole and if they're in the wrong in that scenario. So like if a kid misbehaves and his dad introduces the kid's Xbox to the family sledgehammer, then maybe the dad will share the experience on Reddit and ask if he's in the wrong or not. So now that you guys kind of got an idea of what it is, today we're going to be specifically taking a look at some of the more extreme cases and talk about them and answer the question on whether they are indeed the asshole. But without further ado, let's get into it. Am I the asshole for logging into my friend's email account and declining her university's offer of admission? Ever since I was a child, I always dreamed of studying abroad. We all know the benefits of studying abroad, and I'm sure if I don't profit from this now, I will forever regret it later on. Luckily for me, my parents are financially stable and can afford sending me abroad in order to gain such an invaluable experience. However, there is one catch. That is, I must go with a friend of mine as they won't send me there alone. I thought this wasn't a problem since I had been planning to go with my friend to country X. This month, things changed. My friend and I applied to 2 universities in different countries. One of them doesn't have a capita on the number of students it can accept, but the other one does. My friend got accepted to both of them, but I only did to one. Both of them are good universities, and objectively one is not better than the other, but their education system does differ. When my friend got accepted to the university in country Y, she told me that there is a possibility she will go there instead, as she has relatives there that will allow her to stay in their house without her having to pay rent. I was heartbroken by the news. How could she do this to me? She knows how much I want to study abroad and is well aware of the fact that my parents will not let me go alone. I told my parents about this and they assured me that if there is no other person I can go with, then I'll be studying here instead. I could not let this happen. Although she didn't say she's going to do it for sure yet, I need a definite answer or else I'll keep being stressed about it. My friend once told me her password on a game we play and I tried to see if she has the same password for her email and it turns out she does. So I logged in and rejected her admission offer and logged out. My friend still doesn't know this, but she will soon. I told my parents about it to assure them that my friend will now be going with me, but they got so upset on me and are now threatening me that they are going to call my friend's parents and tell them what I did. I begged them not to, but they are not listening. They want to do it in case she can still email the university. In the end, I told them to let me tell her instead and they agreed to it, although I don't think I will. What kind of sick, twisted piece of shit do you have to be to reject your friend's dream college admission offer? That is no small thing. That is literally a life-changing thing. These emails quite literally dictate what you're going to do for the next 4 years of your life. They can dictate where you're going to live, who you're going to meet, and even your life afterwards. This is probably one of the most selfish people I have ever seen, and you do this to your friend, someone you've probably been with for years at this point. This isn't some random person or some harmless prank. Your friend has probably been through so much with you and you do something like this. What, your friend wants to go to a different university than you? Well, that shit can't slide. Better go on their computer and reject their acceptance letter, am I right? In probably what was supposed to be one of the happiest moments of your friend's life, instead of being happy for them or supporting them, you think only about yourself. And you think, how could she do this to me? What exactly did she do to you? I get that your parents don't want you traveling or studying abroad alone, but that's between you and your parents, not your friend whose college plans are now ruined. Now look, I grew up with pretty strict parents, but I would imagine that when deciding what college you want to attend and where, it should be entirely up to you, since it is your life and future education. You're probably around the age of 18 or 19 years old. I would say you're old enough to travel alone, and if your parents have a problem with that, then that is something you need to work out with them, or just don't study abroad. It's that simple. The last thing you should do is rope your friend into it and negatively affect their life. So to answer the question, yes, you are definitely the asshole. Am I the asshole for giving my girlfriend's cat away? My girlfriend and I have been together since we were 13. We're 20 now. And she's had her cat for the duration of our relationship. I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. I don't care for cats since I'm allergic to them and hers was no exception. I'm not really an animal person in general, but if I were to get one, it wouldn't be a cat. They're disgusting and they creep me out. My girlfriend and I moved in together at 18, and I was always under the impression that she would leave the cat with her parents since she knew how much I didn't like them. Long story short, the cat came with her, and while I wasn't thrilled about it, I allowed it to stay under the conditions that it wouldn't sleep in our bed, it wouldn't sit on the furniture, and it wouldn't go into my office space. Over the course of the last 2 years, I would come home from work and my girlfriend would be chilling on the couch with the cat after I'd asked her not to. I'd get ready to climb into bed and there'd be cat hair on my sheets, so I know she'd let it into the bedroom. Not to mention, she has what I feel like is an unhealthy obsession with this thing. She's constantly talking to and cooing at it like it's a person and it drives me up a wall. For a while, I just slept in my office so I wouldn't have to deal with an itchy face and puffy eyeballs. With us being stuck at home now, it's even harder for me to have my own space. The straw that broke the camel's back was when I went into my office and found her cat sitting in the window. I've asked time and time again for her cat to stay out of my space, and I feel like she deliberately disrespects my wishes. So I found a walk-in surrender shelter today and dropped the cat off. I haven't told my girlfriend, and being that it's an indoor-outdoor cat, I hope she just thinks it ran away. I love my girlfriend, but her cat was legitimately our only source of conflict. Okay, so you gave away your girlfriend's cat because it gave you allergies. Why? Why do these people always take the most extreme option without taking a moment to actually think about it until after the fact? I used to be very allergic to cats, dogs, and other household animals. However, just taking some allergy medication or cleaning the house or opening a window to air out the house can actually make a big difference. Another thing you can do is simply have a serious talk with your girlfriend, and I'll give some credit because the guy actually told his girlfriend multiple times, plus she knows about his condition. But if you had just sit down and had a serious talk with her, I'm sure you guys could have worked something out, because if your girlfriend chooses to keep something around that is physically harming you on an everyday basis, then that is not okay. It says here that they were together since they were 13 and they're 20 now, meaning they were literally skipping together in the hallways in middle school and are now full-grown adults, and they can't sort this stuff out. Instead of taking any logical approach to this, you took the cat and dropped it off at a shelter without even telling your girlfriend. I don't think that's really a decision you can make on your own. It is her cat after all. You said you were under the impression that she was going to leave the cat with her parents, but you never thought to actually confirm whether or not this was going to be the case. Another scenario in which just a little communication could have prevented or clarified the whole situation. You said that cats are disgusting and they creep you out, but look, I'm sorry man, but if you think cats, one of the most common household pets in the world, are creepy or disgusting, then you haven't seen anything yet. You ever heard of a spider, or snake, or an octopus, or a crocodile, or literally any insect? If you've seen any of those before, then I promise you that your average household cat is not creepy. You also said that you feel like she has an unhealthy obsession with the cat and that she's constantly talking to and cooing at the cat. That's literally what everyone does with their pets, especially to dogs and cats. I'm pretty sure that's a completely normal thing to do, and if you think that your girlfriend deliberately disrespects your wishes, then that is a problem you need to work out with her, because a relationship with no respect is doomed to fail, no matter how long you've been together. For the answer to your question, I'm gonna have to say yes, you are the asshole. Am I the asshole for telling my in-laws exactly where my husband was when I was in labor? I gave birth to my son 10 weeks ago. I went through an exhausting period while I was nearing my due date. I was experiencing discomfort and wanted my husband by my side when I go into labor, but he'd go out every night to hang out at his friend's place and watch football games. I suggested that he play/watch games at home just in case, but he was having none of it and said he had to attend game night at his brother and friend's place along with his buddies. He said they had certain, how can I describe it, rituals when watching a game, and he can't enjoy doing it at home or anywhere else. The night of our son's birth, my water broke while my husband was at his buddy's place watching a game. I called him and told him to get home and take me to the hospital. He said he was coming, but he didn't. I ended up calling my sister, she lives nearby, and she took me to the hospital. My husband showed up 2 hours later after he kept calling asking if I was still in labor and that he was almost done watching the game. He was able to make it on time for our son's birth, but I was furious with him, mad and disappointed. He apologized profoundly and has been working on regaining my trust and respect for him after what he's done. He's otherwise very supportive and involved in our son's care. Last night, I was at my in-laws' house for dinner and we were talking about my son's birth date. My husband suddenly started recalling what happened that night and basically started lying about driving me to the hospital, waiting and feeling stressed out and standing on his feet for so long without food or even water. I was confused. I said no, none of this was true. None of this happened, in fact. He was watching a game when I went into labor and I wanted him to drive me to the hospital, but didn't show up till 2 hours later. My mother-in-law, who takes no shit from anybody and whom everyone fears, lost it on him, yelling, asking him if that was true, and he kept quiet. She started berating him left and right, telling him to sit down and shut up when he stood up to argue, then told him to stand up when he was sitting arguing. Everyone was laughing at how she basically treated him as if he was a boy in trouble. She kept saying, "Shame, shame, shame on you. This is not how I raise my children to treat their wives. Jordan, you are a disgrace and I'm disappointed because of what I heard about you." He literally swallowed every bit of his mother's berating and didn't say anything till he got home, where he went nuts saying I made him look neglectful. A bad husband and father by telling the family about where he was and said I shouldn't have said anything, but I argued it wasn't okay for him to lie and play hero in front of his parents. He said I just caused a rift between him and family and asked if I was happy now. Am I the asshole? Should I have not said anything? The goddamn balls this guy must have to leave his soon-to-be-in-labor wife just waiting there when she is almost quite literally about to give birth to his son. This is the period of time where your wife arguably needs you the most and you leave her to watch football with your friends? If you want to watch football that badly, then all you really have to do is have your friends come over to your house. That way you could stay with your wife while also having fun with your friends. But no, you literally left your pregnant wife to go hang out with your friends. I can't tell you how many stories I've heard of incidents like this happening because people just can't take their eyes off the TV and focus on their priorities. I've noticed that this is particularly common with guys and watching sports, which I definitely understand to a degree. Hell, even I've experienced it. I get that some people have a very deep passion for sports, but when you leave your pregnant wife who's about to give birth to go watch football with your friends, then that isn't passion anymore. That is insanity, and you're a very stupid human being and you'd be a shitty father. Now, the wife said that he apologized profoundly and is trying to be better and has been very supportive in raising their child, which I guess is a good turnaround because at least he recognized what a complete fucking dumbass he is and is trying to change. But what he does next just completely nullifies that. Apparently at a family dinner, the husband basically lies to everyone saying that he was with his wife the whole time and drove her to the hospital. And the wife basically exposes him and says that none of that was true and he was actually at his friend's house watching football like a fucking idiot. And the husband's mom just loses it and yells at him, calling him a disgrace, which I think is justified. The guy literally tried to pretend that he was some sort of hero even though he's just a shitty husband. And now the husband is mad and blames the wife for essentially forming a rift between him and his family. Honestly, you fucking deserve it, man. If you had just been a good husband and been there for your pregnant wife, none of this would have ever happened. And it could have ended after that since you apologized and tried to do better, but then you go out of your way to lie to your family right in front of your wife. Yeah, you deserve what happens afterwards, buddy. The wife has every right to be angry as it was literally the birth of your child that you couldn't take seriously. And honestly, I wonder what his friends must think of the whole situation. Real friends probably wouldn't have gone along with the husband leaving his pregnant wife who could have given birth at any moment all alone without a second thought. As friends, they should have told him that he was being an idiot. I could talk about this for a lot longer, but for the sake of time, no, you are not the asshole for being angry with your shitty husband who wasn't even doing his job. Am I the asshole for making my girlfriend pay to sleep over? I, a 28-year-old male, have been with my girlfriend, who's 22, for about a year now, and things have been going really well up until recently. We live in separate apartments and we're spending about one night a week together at my place, but recently it has turned into 3 or 4 nights a week. Now, don't get me wrong, I love having my girlfriend sleep over and I could even see us living together one day. However, when I asked her to start paying $24 each night she stays over, she got really upset. I explained that all of my utility bills have gone up significantly since she started staying over more and that $24 for one night in an $1,800 a month apartment is a great deal. Heck, I wish I got to live in my apartment for that little. Anyway, her and her friends think I'm being unreasonable and her friends are telling her to dump me. I really love her and don't want to lose her, but I'm afraid of ending up in a relationship where bills aren't split equally and I don't want to be with someone who just sees me as a meal ticket. I think it's reasonable to ask her to help pay for things now that she's spending more time at my place, but maybe I'm wrong. Am I the asshole? Okay, so you aren't officially moved in together, yet you want to split the rent with your girlfriend? If the two of you aren't moved in together officially and she has her own place, then she really has no obligation to pay to stay there with you. Again, these people always choose the most extreme options without thinking twice. You can simply use less of your utilities so the bill is lower, or just go and stay at your girlfriend's place to sort of balance out the utility usage at your place. Or just have a simple fucking conversation with your girlfriend about the utility usage and I'm sure she'll at least respect your concern, and maybe try to help by using less electricity or water when she does stay. But if she doesn't respect it, then you can simply not let her stay since it is your apartment. But if she's a good partner, then it shouldn't be a problem, yet you're making it one by charging her to stay at your place. And don't get me wrong, I do see where he's coming from. He doesn't want to be taken advantage of or used as a walking bank account where his girl could just siphon off all his money and finesse him. These days, you do see a lot of this where in a lot of relationships, one party, usually the woman, is only in the relationship because the guy has money and she just uses him to buy her nice things and give her a nice lifestyle, all while she fakes actually caring about him. So I don't blame guys for being cautious about this because it does happen, but again, this isn't the way to go about it. All these issues that we've gone over so far could have easily been avoided if common sense and simple communication were implemented, and while this may have been done for the right reasons, this guy is still the asshole in this scenario. Am I the asshole for firing an employee after his parents died? I'm the VP of sales at a software company, and one of our sales development reps' parents passed away at the beginning of April. Sadly, they were involved in a car crash and both lost their lives. Now, the employee in question is a very young 22-year-old guy and has been with us for about 10 months now. He's a great employee and we are thinking about promotions in the next 6 months for him. His job is a high-paying one for a new grad, about 90k with commission and base, so we expect a lot from this position. Because of the accident, we let him take a 1-month paid leave of absence from work, and he's returned a few weeks ago and his performance is severely lacking. He's super unmotivated, not cold calling, outreaching to prospects for the last 2 to 3 weeks, enough since he's come back. Our whole management team has noticed this, and we decided to let him go because we feel like he'd need months and months to be able to produce again, and we can't just wait that long. We called him into a meeting on Friday afternoon and gave him the bad news. He was very calm and rude about it, told us to go fuck ourselves, and got up and went to his desk, grabbed his few things, and left. I thought this was very, very unprofessional and extremely rude. I told my boyfriend about all of this, and he said myself and my management team are a bunch of asses and pricks with no hearts. Am I the asshole? Update. Holy fuck, this blew up. I know this was shitty of me now, and I reached out to him to see how he's holding up. He's staying at his girlfriend's place and she's supporting him a lot right now. I offered to get my headhunter friend in touch with him when he's ready and he accepted. Holy shit, I don't even have to read anything but the title to say that you are a certified asshole. You fired a worker because he wasn't producing enough profits for you after his parents fucking died in a car accident? The two most important figures in this person's life who helped raise them both died in a terrible, terrible way, and all you can think about are the profits that you're missing out on? And this guy is young. He's only 22, likely just got out of college and doing very well for himself. You know, he's a good worker, but oh no, his parents died in a car crash, he isn't making us enough money, let's fucking fire him. I'll give them credit for the 1-month paid leave that they gave him, but that credit goes to shit when they just fired him. Naturally, when something tragic happens in someone's life, like losing a parent or both parents, they're likely going to be in a very bad spot, which will unsurprisingly affect their work life. Again, there are things this company could have done, but they instead chose the most extreme option because all they care about is money. I'm sure this company had the resources to help this person. They could have offered him employee counseling, maybe shortened his work shift, or maybe offered him a temporary assistant or someone to help him with his work. But no, instead they took away his job and chance of making a living. So this young 22-year-old not only lost both his parents, but also his job on top of that, just because the management at his company wanted to make some money. Wait, you suffered one of the most tragic losses a human being could ever suffer in their life? Too fucking bad, bro. Gotta get on the grind, gotta make that money. Time to embrace the Sigma grind set and go straight back to work and make the company richer. It's ridiculous, and honestly, the management team deserved the cussing out and the rude remarks from the guy. You can't really expect him to act polite in that situation. And the audacity from this person, because after firing him, they thought he was the one being unprofessional and rude. I'm glad that the boyfriend of whoever posted this said that they were being assholes, because they absolutely were. But at least the person who posted this came to their senses and reached out to the guy and offered to help him find a new job. And the guy did accept, so at least things might get better. But in this scenario, you and the management team were certified record-breaking assholes, and I dare you or anyone else to argue with me on that. But that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did and could leave a like, I would greatly appreciate it, and also subscribe for more videos. It's absolutely free, you have nothing to lose, and I would greatly appreciate it as a new channel that's trying to grow. And I'll see you in the next one.